All right.
Ooh, we did it.
We did it. And we're alive. We're alive.
Maybe.
We're not dead. Hey, everyone. Hello. Welcome. I know we haven't been doing these things in a while, so hello again. We're going to hang out here for a few minutes as usual, get things rocking and rolling. I'm going to share it on my Facebook so people know I'm
I
cool
just got
and I
so
do a
many
live stream.
notifications being like,
ThrillGeek
ThrillGeek
is
is
live.
live. And I'm like, no.
We are live. We are live. We are live. Oh, gosh. And we're not dead. We're here.
Maybe.
Oh, gosh.
I literally can't attest to that, but
Hey, Danny. Hello. Thanks for joining. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight as we record this little podcast thing that we do.
if I remember how to.
If we remember how to, we're professionals here, as always. Providing the best podcast product available. Hello, John.
best as
How
we
you
can.
doing? What'd you say, Emily?
As best as we can.
A for effort. There's Ryan. Hello, sir.
There's so many people. Oh, there's
I
a
hear
dog. That was a
dog.
Weeshi.
Yeah.
Yes, that was Oishi.
Oh,
I know that's
gosh.
screen bark anywhere.
All right. I am going to... Let me quick type in the chat here. Oh, what'd I do? Oh, I put cap lock on that. I don't need that. All right, everyone, just hang tight. We're going to get going here. I'm going to mute everybody, and we'll get going with this podcast. We're going to wrap up spooky season. I think we're going to chat about Beetlejuice. So,
Beetlejuice.
yeah, we're gonna chat about Beetlejuice and some other things. Maybe we'll talk about life, because that's been interesting. Maybe.
This just turned into a therapy session
less
for me.
anxiety right now
Yes.
than there was a week ago.
Yeah. I think I can speak for all of us in saying we're a little relieved
A little is an understatement.
with the election results. So that's about as political as we'll get on this podcast. Well, we're not on this live stream. So anyways, let's get going here. I'm going to mute everybody and we'll get rocking and rolling. Just hang tight. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the ThrillGeek Podcast. I'm Clint,
I'm Barry.
And I'm Emily.
and we are back after our longest break time that Barry
Ever.
noticed.
Ever.
Before we started recording here, we are kind of gapping them out here, so to speak. We're taking our time doing these episodes, as we've been saying. Just we've been taking it easy. Relaxing.
The pandemic.
I don't know.
has also
I don't know
made
if I
things
don't know
feel
if I
like-
don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I was relaxing, but I
Yeah,
was very,
this is
very,
true.
very busy.
But we do have spooky stuff to talk about that we're going to be wrapping up here, and yeah. So how's everybody doing?
living the dream every day.
Come on, Emily.
I mean, that's why, like, it was funny to me, though, when you guys are like, oh, we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this. And I was like, that legitimately in my brain happened 12 years ago.
It really does.
Time has, like, if you told me, like, March of this year happened this year, I'd be like, no, it
Yeah.
didn't. So
kind
it's
of
just
been this-
weird for me to, like, try to remember all these things that have happened, at least in the past few weeks. And I'm like, that's been months ago. Are you sure?
Remember happily ever after?
No, I don't. That's what YouTube's for.
Yeah.
That's been 2020, like that tropical storm hurricane. What is it, Ada? Ida or whatever
I
it
mean,
is?
I appreciate her for her wind, but that's about it.
She's just sitting out there doing her thing. Every map that comes out, it's like, yeah, no. If 2020
no.
was a hurricane, that's it.
Yeah, no estimated time for arrival, so.
The
But
spaghetti
no, I
model's
mean,
just going everywhere.
I think we've all been very busy, with Halloween, and then in my case, working, covering
let
the
me talk.
election. So,
Let me talk for a few seconds about Halloween at my house because it's obviously a big thing. And we were wondering how many people we were going to have and everything with COVID and everything. Everybody trick or treating and nobody trick or treating. I would say Krampus turned out awesome. I got him his little Christmas tree out front, as everybody saw on Twitter and Facebook and everything. So everybody loved Krampus, but I would say we probably got a third of our normal crowd at our house. You could definitely tell that there was a big difference in the turnout. I think it was a lot of people in our neighborhood just wanting to get out, with their kids, and go trick-or-treating. Whereas previous years, we have a lot of people that come from outside our neighborhood into our neighborhood down here in the Hunters Creek area. It's a lot of people come down here to go trick-or-treating. So it was a decent night. We had Cheryl had a few friends over from work, and we kind of hung out, and everybody loved Cheryl's sandworm candy shoot. That was a big hit.
Cute.
Everybody loved that. So that was a big hit, and I literally threw together that thing like 2 days before the actual candy shoot with the PVC pipe and everything. I literally put it together. I was at Home Depot putting together PVC pipe. Does this work? And but it worked out. It wasn't a huge crowd, but it was more than I was expecting. But it was definitely less than we normally got as far as trick or treaters. So, anyways, that was my Halloween. And
Barry and I spent the day at Universal. So
yeah.
How was Halloween night at Universal?
it was.
It started
pretty
very
typical.
early.
I mean, it's weird though, because I don't think if that house was open, you wouldn't really even be able to tell it was Halloween, because they have the costumes ready to go and everything like that for the kids, and that they're allowing it. It didn't really feel like it was any different type of park day than what we've been experiencing lately.
I mean, there were adults in
weird.
costumes.
But I think the adults in costume were kind of there as well throughout at least October. But
so
maybe it's just me.
I mean, we were there at 7:30.
I parked in the parking garage at 7, and then I power walked. So I would say probably in the park by 7:10, maybe.
God bless you two.
It was too much.
we might as well get into it. Why were we there that early, Emily?
Because there was a little rumor that some gross demon boy was gonna open up his Horror Nights house. Basically, there were just rumors going around online that they were potentially gonna open up a Beetlejuice house, which they never announced it. But then they opened up the room in the tribute store, so it was kind of a given that they were gonna do it this year.
There was merchandise.
Yeah, there's merchandise. It was kind of at this point. It's let's not
do a Beetlejuice house this year.
Yeah, it's let's not beat around the bush at this point. And I think
ain't so.
Well, the rumor online too was they were gonna open it on Sunday, which but my brain went, okay, so this is Halloween Horror Nights, Halloween's on a Saturday. Why would they open it only on a Sunday?
Yeah.
So I decided to basically be so excited that I couldn't sleep all night. Woke up at 5:30 and basically got ready. My friend Kim slept over. I basically shook her awake, and I was like, we're getting in the car. Let's go. And got there early. And if Barry wants to take over from there, because it was a nightmare a little bit.
I agreed to get there early too, and
but Barry just shows up, and Barry's that one scene from The Office where Dwight's standing there and he turns around, Angela's just so tiny next to him, and you're like that was me, because Barry did not say that he was there. He just showed up behind me, and I was like, oh, okay.
I was like, here's your free biscuit I got. So,
and I was like, ooh, breakfast.
But no, we got there, and then we had already sort of heard that it was going to be virtual line only. There were
But I
definitely
mean,
other.
you didn't have to like really look at it though, because you just looked on
Yeah.
the app and it was like, oh, the Beetlejuice house. Here you go. And I'm like, cool, got it. Opening today only. Cool, got it.
Yeah, I mean, and there were definitely some other people there, some Halloween Horror Nights people there who
Oh yeah.
who thought maybe this would be the day that it would open.
But the initial rumor was Sunday.
Yeah,
Because
the initial
I showed
rumor
up
was
on
like,
Sunday. And everybody was there on Sunday.
On Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is why I'm grateful I went on Saturday.
And I mean
Yeah,
everybody.
so we were literally filming the intro to the to our ThrillGeek
vlog.
Adventures vlog when the virtual line dropped before
Well,
8
I'm like,
o'clock.
okay, well, here it is. This is how you do. Oh God. And we
They're
just
live, they're
rushed.
live, they're live, they're
Yeah.
live. Go, 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 go.
And Saturday we
They
didn't have
lasted
an
pretty
issue.
long, didn't they?
Yeah,
Well, that was
they
the thing. It was funny because it went online. So Barry and I tried to get one for ourselves. And then my friend Kim, she was also trying to get one for herself because we didn't know if they'd actually like let you. Because usually with a virtual line, they'll let you pick a certain amount in your party, but we just weren't sure if they were actually going to do that. So we're
Yeah.
all like, oh crap, we might as well get our own reservations. So when she tried to pull hers up, she's like, I don't see it on the app. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't see it on the app? I'm like, turn your phone off, like restart it.
Reboot,
And
reboot.
But it was funny because I don't know how much amount of time it takes to turn a phone off, turn it back on, load up an app. But when she did that, it was still there. She was still able to
Yeah.
get one. So there weren't that many people, at least in the park, trying to do that right away. Sunday, on the other hand, was
Sunday
basically
was like 10 o'clock,
Beetle-
no, gone. 11 o'clock, no,
Oh
gone.
yeah, no,
Okay.
it basically turned into Rise of the Resistance. Trying
I'm just
to
going
get
down to 1 o'clock, and I think we all got
We
times
all
on
picked
Sunday
that
for like
one.
1
There
to
was
2.
five. There was 5 of us, and only 3 of us got it on Sunday.
Yeah.
So total Rise of the Resistance type of
Yeah, that was nuts.
apocalypse.
And yeah, our first one whereas like on Saturday, our first one was literally like at 10:30. Like the house didn't open until 10. It's like our first. one
However,
on
we
Sunday.
got them at like 8.
Yeah.
So we were like, how do we fill the rest of our time until we get to go through this house?
Yeah, so it's but in and then Sunday our first one was like at 1:30. So that was the difference. But like we said, so let's talk Beetlejuice, and I mean let's start with Emily because she is the biggest Beetlejuice fan here. So
Thank you. I mean, we just have to give spoilers at this point, right?
Yeah.
Like,
we're going to spoil the crap out of it. So
Yeah.
So you might
Warning,
as well
warning,
either
warning.
mute this, turn it off. I'm sorry.
All of a sudden
I'm
our
gonna
live
be a
chat goes to,
crazy
like,
person.
2
They're gonna be
people.
like, bye. So at least when you first walk up, I got personally very excited because you hear both obviously the Danny Elfman Beetlejuice theme, but you also hear the wedding waltz, which is actually my favorite piece of music in the movie.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, there's they would play like the normal one and then they would transition to the wedding waltz and then it would go back to the normal theme. I don't know, maybe we just missed it on
I don't-
yours,
yeah.
but they were doing that the first day
Maybe,
at least.
yeah. I don't remember. Maybe it's that, or I just get so
Yeah.
into the Beetlejuice theme, I'm just like,
It's just like that was literally me the first day. I was like jumping up and down. But like right as I've been waiting for this house for a while. Like
yeah.
I forgot who I was joking with, but basically when I first started going Horror Nights in 2011, I didn't realize Horror Nights was like this whole thing with like original concepts and stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, it's Universal, so they must have like a Beetlejuice house, they must have a Jaws house, like all these like dream Universal houses that everybody wishes they had. I just thought were there because I was like, oh, those are Universal properties. I don't know any better. So lo and behold, 2011 Emily was very disappointed when she realized that The Thing was the only IP that year. So yeah, I've been waiting for Beetlejuice for a very long while. Lauren is right. People should
Yeah.
not have filmed that house.
Yeah.
But,
Tisk,
oh well.
tisk.
But so when basically they opened up the tribute store and everything like that, I was just super excited for myself. And I was like, if I have to wait till next year, that's fine. But then this rumor started going around, and as I was walking up in the line with Barry and my friend Kim, I'm basically going, oh my God, guys, I'm going to throw up. And Kim's like, does not like nausea or anything like that. She's like, oh my God, please don't throw up. And I'm like, I may throw up. I am so excited right now. And she's just like slowly backing away from me.
Simmer down.
Yeah. So you walk up, you hear the music, but you're coming in like Barney way. It's really weird because when you actually turn the corner, that's when you saw like not so much the facade. It's the outside basic, and you could see pictures of this online, but it was basically like a scrim of like the Beetlejuice print that they had like on the mask. So that was pretty cool. When you actually get inside though, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, at least my impression of it was walking through the model that they have in the attic. That's at least what it felt like to me. But basically Beetlejuice is on this big, huge platform up top, and it's an actor A, which means they're a live mic'd actor. Who can talk back and forth with you. He is wearing a mask, so I thought that was pretty awesome. But yeah, he's basically just berating guests. And
Beetlejuice called you babe.
Yeah, that happened a lot.
Yeah,
I was okay with that.
It's like he's a carnival barker for the show you're about to go through. And, and he's,
I thought that was awesome.
It's Beetlejuice being Beetlejuice.
Yeah, basically.
Just busting everybody's chops. And then you go into the classic Funhouse Vortex Tunnel.
Oh, God.
Kicks
I
the
hate
house
those
off.
things. Like, I thought it was very appropriate to kind of, like, transport you into the netherworld, but every time I went through the house, I'm just, like, gripping the bars that are on the side of it. And I was like, remember that one time that we said I was nauseous with excitement? Well,
I used to not be fazed by those things, but the older I get, for some reason, they really mess with me.
I
now,
just
really
become like an old elderly person where I'm like, oh, how dare they put the tunnel in the house? Ugh.
Exactly. So pretty much the first portion of the house, like Emily said, you are in the netherworld. So kind of skim over that, Emily, and kind of describe the people what you kind of see in the first few scenes.
So the first part, you're walking through, you go straight to your left-hand side, and you see Juno, which I actually thought was interesting, that she wasn't wearing just like a mask here, like the whole thing was a mask, which I thought was extra, but okay.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I'm like the worst. I'm just had a day, so I don't remember everyone's names. But you keep walking and you see the guy that's like pressed really flat down. He's asking for the Maitlands, party of two. You go down
that was the first part where I died laughing.
Yeah.
The guy that's hanging from the ceiling and he's really thin
But it's actually cool because it kept like going back and forth too. Yeah. So I thought that was cool.
Really cool. That was a really cool. I wasn't expecting that.
And then you keep going down like the Tim Burton-y hallways with the different angles of the doors and the patchwork. And then you get around the corner and you're actually in the waiting room, which is super cool because you see all the different types of people that you saw in the waiting room, like the shrunken head man, the lady with like the shark eating her leg, all these different things. And then there's the second scare, I guess, after Juno is Miss Argentina. And still it's controversial, but whatever, it's in the movie where she comes out and she goes, I would have been okay with if I didn't have my little accident. And I was like, you know what? I appreciate that. That's cute. I'm trying to remember this whole house. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a lot.
You go down another hallway.
We don't have to go, verbatim.
You run in.
I'm just trying to remember all of it.
You run into one of the football players, and then you end up into the
just like various victims.
Yeah, then you end up in the Lost Souls. Was it? I forgot what it's called, but it's the.
It's a room with ghosts.
Yeah, with the Lost Souls, and then you end up back in the attic.
And then you see
house.
Barbara dressed as the ghost. You get to see, like, it's actually really detailed, and if you actually pay attention to it, it's super cool. They have the whole model from the movie.
And it's really detailed.
Yeah, it's really detailed.
Like straight out of the movie.
Yeah. I don't think they could get the likeness for Alec Baldwin because anything that you see of Adam's character in the house is all static figures. So you do see, like, a ghost Adam floating up and down, which is cool.
Was that the one that was at the end of the room with the model?
Yeah, if you were like walking this way, you saw Barbara on your right hand side, the model's on your left hand side, and there's like a ghost Adam shoved in the corner.
Can you see the village model detailed? Yeah,
I mean, you can. It's obviously that they put the time into it. It's just unless you're like all the lights are on and you're staring at it, you probably can't tell really too much of the details
set design
of it.
on this, the set design on this whole house is unreal.
It's crazy.
It's really unlike, I feel like, anything we've seen before. And I mean, we've seen some detailed, IP houses, Ghostbusters last year, but I don't think on a level that this house has of just.
Yeah, I agree. There was just something about this house.
Everything in. I mean, when you're in the netherworld, it looks like the sets from the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's and
just all the weird like Tim Burton angles and stuff like that. That's what made my heart happy.
And the other thing that impressed me too, and this is one of the things I've sort of been a pet peeve of mine. They hid the speakers everywhere.
Oh
in this
my
house.
God! Yeah, I could not find a single one.
That's always one of my things for me that takes me out of the house sometimes is you'll go through down a hallway, but then you'll see a pole and you'll see a couple of speakers hanging up, towards the top of where the set's in. And that's the other thing is how enclosed a lot of these sets were. There wasn't just, there was, parts where there was.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If you did look up, you could see like the gray ceiling of the parade building, but
well, that's any year. I mean,
Yeah.
But, I mean,
the minute you look up, it's like, oh,
you're like, oh, where am I?
but
in a
it really like immersed you in as you were walking through the movie in a way I don't know if any of the other IP houses have done before.
This is my favorite IP. Like, I will go down with this ship.
And then of course coming after that,
See, it's like very close Poltergeist in this one, but like Beetlejuice is a little bit
I know.
more.
I got to give you a hard time.
I think definitely one of our favorite parts of the whole thing.
It's Lydia.
Lydia, part of it is a friend.
Strange and unusual.
Yes, part of it is a friend of ours is playing Lydia in one of the casts, so that made it a little bit more special.
She's amazing.
And yeah, she looks dead on like Lydia.
And like her mannerisms and everything, like I personally know like she worked so hard to get those down and it showed in the house. So I really applaud her.
I
for
mean,
all the
even
hard
with
work
the mask
did.
on,
but did you see the mask? It was beautiful. It was like this like black lace. Yeah. And I was like, oh, thank you. Like the effort that they even put into like putting the mask on them, even like some of the Beetlejuice masks were like kind of gross and grungy and I loved it.
Yeah. And then
go ahead.
And then I feel like that's just about the first half of the house.
Yeah, maybe halfway. Like that's
maybe
like
about
a
Lydia,
third. I think Lydia is like a third.
Yeah, and then it's impressive to that point, and then it to me it
then
goes
it goes
even
balls
higher.
to the wall. Bonkers.
It goes balls to the wall the rest of the way out, but.
Yeah, and then you go down like this weird like dark hallway, which I almost like bumped into like a few walls along the way, so that got confusing. The next one that you see is Beetlejuice and like the plaid. I think no, it's Beetlejuice in like the trench coat.
Yeah,
I forget exactly what the trigger is, but you see Beetlejuice in the trench coat, and then you come around and there's like a Beetlejuice that opens up a door, which is basically supposed to be the nice Blinken model. But they had to change that a little bit to like, oh, you losers.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're literally like in the model at that point.
Yeah.
You're shrunken down.
Yeah.
So you see that Beetlejuice, and then like you get hit by like 3 Beetlejuices in a row, because then you see like this huge facade of Dante's Inferno. And then Beetlejuice, the one with like all the horns, comes out and he's like, "Oh, I'm feeling a little." And I was like, "This is the best thing that's ever happened to me."
And then you literally go into
it, yeah.
And there's one of the girls in there.
Yeah, I mean, she fun. We like her. There's like tassels and whips on the wall, and I'm like, "What is happening in this house?"
Oh gosh, it's such a fun house. I love it.
Yeah, and then you keep walking forward, and you see like, and it's huge. Like, I'm not joking. It's huge. It has to be like, I can't even fit my hands in the frame. It's Barbara when she like pulls her face apart.
Yeah.
And I was like, and even the scare actor was like showing it off, like how big it was. And I was like, "Ma'am, how is your neck not broken?"
She was doing. I couldn't figure out what she was doing. The couple of times we went through, like with her hands, like she was.
I think she was just like showing it off. So I was like, okay, if you can wear that all day long and not hurt your neck, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
And then one of the cool parts about Horror Nights that I really enjoy, especially with IPs, is that they always kind of like take a little bit of a creative twist onto it. So for example, like with Poltergeist, there was, everybody calls it the vagina room. And it's basically these sheets that were supposed to, I forget what it's called exactly in the movie, but when Carol Ann goes into like the other dimension with all the gross
when she
stuff,
gets pulled in,
yeah, with all the gross stuff, it's basically you going through that. So it was like a visual representation of what that would have been like. So with Beetlejuice, like one of their like creative representations was you start hearing Deo, the dinner scene, but instead of like maybe they coming out and doing the dinner scene is like on the ceiling.
Yeah.
So you walk underneath it and like the shrimp hands like come down at you.
And there's air pressure in that room.
There's air pressure, and then you see like the Beetlejuice snake like wrapped around the poles of the dining room, and then you turn the corner and there's this huge Beetlejuice snake puppet where he comes out and he goes, "Oh, I got your daughter now, Chuck."
Yeah, the one thing that I could think of is the little critter creatures. For those of you that went through Slaughter Cinema.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same kind of
His name was
giant
Falafel.
head that comes at you. But imagine a giant Beetlejuice snake head coming at you. It's rather terrifying.
Did you know that, Clint? That his name was Falafel?
Whose name was Falafel?
In Slaughter Cinema.
Oh,
the big head, his name was Falafel.
I did not know that. I learned something new every day about Halloween Horror Nights, and
there you go.
That's the one thing I learned today. But yeah, no, that's it's. I think it's the same. It's probably the same puppet setup. They just plopped Beetlejuice's snake head onto it. But it's really cool. It's pretty terrifying.
Yeah. So that's kind of, this is where like the house gets like murky for me in the third act. So I may get this wrong, and I'm sorry. I do believe at this point there's just chaos loose, and you see Otho getting tortured by Beetlejuice, like the carnival Beetlejuice, where it kind of almost looks like he has an umbrella on his head and like the arms come out. That was weird.
The last part of that house is so rapid fire. A lot happens.
That's what I'm saying. Like my memory cannot handle trying to remember all of it.
There's rapid fire.
There's that, and then you walk under where the two dinner guests have been shot up through the bullseye.
Yeah.
And that's all kind of in the same area. Yeah.
And then I think after you get past that, on the left-hand side, you see, and it's actually a really cool effect, you there's Barbara's wedding dress, and it slowly starts to lift up and like fill out.
Yeah.
And that's the distraction, because then she comes out with the full like zombie-esque makeup.
That was a really cool scare. And I think that was one of my more favorite scares in the house, was the whole wedding dress rising up like she's starting to form, and she comes out all in her decaying gross makeup and mask. It was really cool. So that was one of my favorite scares.
And then oh, you see, it's a really weird corner. So I was like, was this added last second? There's like a mannequin Lydia. Yeah. And there's like a literal, like the tightest corner a person could be in. Because you got to think this too. All these scare actors are behind plexiglass. So this is like tight. There is a Beetlejuice though, where he's like fumbling for the ring. And he's like trying to like be like, oh no, she's like totally consenting to this.
And he like hushes her up.
Yeah. And then there's actually an audio that I only heard once where it's he's like pretending to be her, and he's like, I Lydia Dietz in sound, body, and mind.
Yep.
But I only heard it once, so I think it's a double trigger that wasn't activated most times when we went through the house.
I will say, compared to Bride of Frankenstein and Tooth Fairy, I think I noticed the plexiglass in Beetlejuice more than the other two for some reason. I think it's because the Beetlejuice house is such a dialogue-heavy house, and especially when you see the Beetlejuice characters, I almost want that interaction. Like, I almost want Beetlejuice to get in my face.
Well, their lines are really long.
They are.
Because, like, for example, like, when you go through, like, the Dante's Inferno one, the one that comes out and he's like, oh, I'm feeling really, like, horny or whatever.
Yeah.
But he has, like, at least, like, 2 more lines of dialogue, and you're just, like, slowly walking, and you're like, okay, I got you. If you're, like, the first in line, you're not going to hear anything else that he has to say. It's, like, almost, like, a trigger that can go off for like 10 people.
I think that's part of it too. Like, in Tooth Fairy and Bride of Frankenstein, the triggers are just that. They're triggers that trigger a sound to scare triggers. You. With Beetlejuice, there's dialogue, there's actual sentences. So you're staring at that one area for, a solid, even if it's 5-10 seconds. And seeing Beetlejuice enclosed in like this plexiglass thing is just it.
You're like, sir, who hurt you?
It didn't bother me. It wasn't bad. I'm just saying I noticed the plexiglass more in Beetlejuice than the other two houses.
Yeah. So then you go. Oh, sorry, Barry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Then you go. The guy officiating the wedding is also there.
Little alien man.
And like his little arch thing.
He was cool.
Yeah,
I liked him.
Cool. And then. I'll go and let you do this, Emily. One of the coolest parts of the entire house.
Oh, well, there's one more. I don't know if you guys noticed. There's one more Barbara.
Oh, yeah.
And it's Beetlejuice telling her to shut up. But then she, like, covers her mouth, and she, uncovers her mouth, and it has, like, the metal slap that she had over it. But it's the way that they constructed it is like a full mask from, like,
so it's a mask,
prosthetic. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, and then the finale, at least of the house, is kind of like this dark room, and you don't really know what's going on, and then all the lights trigger, and you look up, and it's a huge sandworm. It doesn't really like come down or anything, but it's enough for you just to be like, oh my god, this is really happening. It like wobbles
like back and forth like this.
A little bit. Like I'm more used to like, and this
watching
is
the live stream.
Just
my arm is going back and forth.
Yeah.
For those of you just listening to the podcast.
I'm a weird person because I'm really like obsessed with the Broadway version, and I don't know if you guys have ever seen the promo videos for the Broadway version, but they have a full puppet of Sandy the Sandworm that actually like launches out, can rear its head up. I'll have to send the video to you because it like rears its head up. It has smoke coming out of it. Yeah. So that's where my brain goes whenever I think of the Sandworm. So of course, obviously, they probably couldn't do something that elaborate.
It's very Clownzilla-ish from
It's
Killer
very
Clowns.
Clownzilla-ish. It does look like a kind of like a blow-up inflatable, which, if that's what they have to do, I'm okay with that.
Sure.
So at least on Saturday, that was the finale. On Sunday, they actually did add like kind of one of those last like getcha moments in the house. And it was, you could actually see him when you were standing in line, and he would just like kind of shimmy and like wiggle for you if like he didn't have anybody going by. But on Sunday they did add a last Beetlejuice in the house where he's basically going, this is why I don't do 2 shows a night, babe, and like that's your last one, like as you like leave the house. So you're just like, oh, that was beautiful, and I appreciate Universal for doing this for me. Thank you so much. So yeah, that's basically the Beetlejuice house
in a nutshell.
In a very complicated, long, probably 20-minute nutshell.
Yeah, I mean it's I think, to describe all 3 houses this year, set design, storytelling was taken, I feel like, to a whole new level with these houses. With the 3 houses we saw for lack of a better term, HHN Light, it's just, very, obviously Beetlejuice, very vignettes, very cinematic, because, it is a movie. Bride of Frankenstein Lives was basically like a sequel to the movie, and it was very cinematic to the point of using projection and stuff. And then Tooth Fairy was, you are walking through a storybook, and there's literally a narrator in the maze as you walk through the story. And you're
just like, why won't you give them your teeth? It's one tooth, and you're gonna kill your whole family over this. Okay.
and Bride was very dialogue driven too.
It was.
The Bride,
but there was some parts both in Bride and Tooth Fairy that if you like disassociated and you weren't like paying attention anymore, you came back and you're like, what the hell is going on? So at least with something like Beetlejuice, that's an IP, like you've seen the movie, you kind of know you can jump in anywhere. But like, especially with Bride and Tooth Fairy, like if you miss a beat, you're like, everyone's dead. Cool. I have no idea what's happening.
Now, going back in the chat room here, in our live chat, I had a few people ask us if we think Beetlejuice will be coming back next year.
May I take this?
Sure, go, Emily.
So let's think about it this way, friends. How long has the Sinbad Theater been sitting there? If it comes to dealing with money, and they have to use money to take something down, do you think Universal will do it? Yeah. The answer is no. So everybody that's like, and I could be wrong. You know what? If it comes to next year and they don't have any 3 of these houses, I will sit here and I will take all the crap that you can give me. However, I really don't think that they're going to get rid of them. Let's discuss all
3 houses. I mean, because I obviously I'm always on Twitter. I saw people discussing that maybe one of the 2
were freaking out.
I don't see Beetlejuice going anywhere,
no.
But
they had creators standing out there on Saturday, basically waiting for people's reactions, and that was for the first hour, and then they were gone. So they were like, "We did it."
And the whole rumor, anyway, that the only reason it ran is because contractually they had to do it this year, so they ran it the last 2 days. I would be shocked if all 3 aren't back, because I just don't see them. I don't, and maybe not Bride as much. Tooth Fairy's got a couple of spots you can move scares into a different spot, but then in the end, though, how many people actually got to see it? Any of these houses this year compared to the amount of people
who normally go
through it. It's not even close to the same amount of people.
It may seem like it to us because we went through them several times, but But
that's the thing. Like when we do go next year, for people that didn't get to go through Bride, Tooth Fairy, Beetlejuice, all of us are going to be spending our times in other houses, so that line's going to be short, at least for the local.
I mean that's the thing. I don't see them. Why would you create? Beetlejuice is coming back. That's just let's just talk about the other 2. They're not going to spend the money, and especially when more than likely the event's probably going to happen next year. But more than likely, the plexiglass, all the extra protocols that they had to implement is still going to be there. Yep. You're probably still going to have performers in mass behind plexiglass. More than likely, we're all going to be wearing masks still. Yep. So I mean, there's already an added. We already know there's another house. There's a 4th house that pretty much got announced. So it's like.
That was the funniest thing, though. They literally announced it, and like everyone was like, "Cool. Can you guys make an announcement about Beetlejuice, though?" No one cared about them dropping that announcement, so I thought it was really funny.
Yeah, Puppet Theater Captive Audience looks really cool from that behind-the-scenes video that they posted online.
And that's another one based on the video scene. The set design on that one looks insane.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about that one. Puppets are creepy, so
we were for HHN 30. It already looks like so far that they had spent a lot of money.
Well, what do you guys
on the houses?
What do you guys think about the daytime stuff? Did you hear any feedback from anybody, any friends, any? I haven't even asked you guys this. Do you guys think the daytime stuff, the scarecrow hunt, the trick or treating at Islands of Adventure? Do you think we'll see that back next year as some sort of daytime?
I think it would be cute if they did family-friendly stuff, but
I liked it. I thought it was really cute.
I look at it this way, though. What were we getting surveyed?
Yeah.
They were asking us about the houses, what we liked about the houses, what we want to do safety-wise in the houses, how many houses we want back. It was nothing about like, hey, did you do the Scarecrow Stalk, our free thing where we were giving out expired candy?
Yeah.
And anyone who knows who listens to this podcast or follows ThrillGeek, we have been saying for years, bring over a kid-friendly version of Halloween. Just like they have over in Universal Studios Japan. Do it in Islands of Adventure, and it's a guaranteed success. It's and it's not even, and you don't even have to spend that much money. You're just doing trick or treating. You're doing a bunch of characters and Halloween costumes. Maybe once things get better, you can throw a little show in there.
Just please, Universal. If you do this next year, just step up your candy game a little bit. I was not impressed with the candy they were giving out at Islands of Adventure. I will say that. Because, they invited us out. We took all 3 kids out there, and the candy selection was, I wasn't too impressed with it. But
no, it was obvious that was thrown together very last minute.
Oh, yeah.
But I think,
didn't even the stuff in Cafe La Bamba start slowly going away too if people weren't buying it, like the
Yeah.
drinks and
Like circus peanut.
Yeah.
I've never.
Yes,
Okay, so my
whoever-
boyfriend literally got like the spicy drink or whatever. I have never seen that man throw
the
out
one that had, like,
alcohol.
Curry or
But he
something like
did.
that.
No,
I forgot what the name of that drink was.
The habanero, the marinade, we like to call it.
It smelled so freaking.
Whoever
bad.
I hate, and
I don't
we're
trust
usually,
whoever decided to put that drink out.
We're usually not very negative, but man, whoever is doing these drinks
like meat marinade.
for these events,
There was
quit
the one
trying to
drink.
quit trying to
Listen.
swing for the fences and coming up with these crazy concoctions. Just try to come up with something that's good. I
We
mean,
just
it's
wanted a fruity Halloween Horror Nights drink. That's
Yeah,
all
we
we
just
wanted.
wanna-
I just need whoever did the drinks in 2016 to come back because they basically made like orange Tang but alcoholic. So whoever
Yeah.
that was,
I don't
if
remember
they
that
could
one.
do that, oh my god, it was so good. It was like, oh, I'm drinking juice, and then like an hour later, you're like, oh god.
No, it's like the last couple of horror nights and Mardi Gras. There's always been some drink that's just like
There's at least one
god-awful.
drink when you taste it, and then you just immediately go,
Yeah.
Yeah,
just-
but
gosh.
this year, I mean, there was only one out of those 3 drinks. There was only one of them that was good, and and it was basically rum punch. So
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
it's that. Other than that, like I said, they need to up the ante on the daytime Halloween stuff and just more characters, more trick or treating.
Bring
just
over the minion characters. I love
bring
the
over the
Japan
minions,
Halloween.
bring
I
over
hate
Hello
minions.
Kitty. Hello
I'm not-
Kitty
I'm
dressed
not-
as the bride. I mean,
Yeah, that too. I'm not a huge fan of the minions.
you can.
I have
you've
my
got-
own personal vendetta
you've got a
against minions.
You've got a bunch of Shrek and DreamWorks Halloween specials. You can put, Shrek in the gang in Halloween outfits. It's pretty easy, to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of the minions, but I love the Halloween minions that they have over there. The Frankenstein
Yeah,
costume.
and bring
one.
and bring the merchandise over.
Yeah,
They did
So,
it one year, and that stuff sold out so fast it wasn't even funny. So
Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see. Obviously they even called this. What did they call? Universal called this the Halloween test. What was it called? The
Halloween. I don't know.
Testing experience.
Halloween
something.
And
testing
then it just
experience or
became
whatever
like
it was.
Halloween
Everyone just
fun
called it
at
HHN Light.
Universal or something.
Yeah, it was like a testing thing. So who knows? I would like to see it come back. And even improved. Like Barry said.
Yeah.
Add some things. Bring over some more characters. Spruce it up a little bit. But yeah, no, the kids like the trick or treating. When we were there doing that, and the scarecrow hunt was fun. But it'll be interesting to see what they do next year if they bring it back and do the daytime thing again, because clearly SeaWorld's Halloween thing is daytime, so I think that Universal could easily benefit from catering to the daytime crowds for Halloween and not just doing Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see. So all right, we're gonna talk about Christmas.
Yes, we're gonna
We
shut
have
the
to,
door
children.
on spooky season now.
We are wrapping up spooky season, and we have to talk about Christmas.
Do we have to?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
It's contractually we are obligated to as theme park bloggers to talk Christmas like the day
the
after Halloween.
Well, the first thing you two are going to talk about is something good, because Give Kids the World are since they're not open, and who knows when they'll be able to open again. They are doing Christmas lights this year. And the great thing about it, too, is your admission, it all goes to Give Kids the World. So,
Yeah, they invited us out for an early. We were there a couple weeks ago, and for an early preview. They only had like a tiny portion of the Christmas lights up
It
for
was
this
still really
event.
pretty though.
Yeah, it's called. It's by, like Barry said, it's Give Kids the World Night of a Million Lights, and basically they're just covering the entire resort area with Christmas lights. All the villas, all the town hall, that whole area. For those of you familiar with Give Kids the World, you have the big mushroom. That's kind of their icon. I would
I just love when I pulled in. She's like, "Oh, the building shaped as a cupcake," and I was like, "Ma'am,
Yeah, I remember that.
I've
And then
never
you
been there
texted me on
before," and I was
Facebook.
like, "Where's the cupcake?"
Yeah, Emily messages me and she's like, "Look for they sent me to the building that looks like a cupcake." I was like, "Okay."
All right.
But no, this Night of a Million Lights things looks really cool. And that night we were there, they actually announced that a huge chunk of the lights were actually donated by Disney. So that was really cool.
They could actually say officially.
Yeah, like they made it official that night. So that was kind of cool. And they showed us the huge room where they have all the boxes of lights. And Emily and I got to do they're hanging like these, not really ornaments, but they're kind of like things you hang from
like,
trees. Like
at least when I was a child, those like things that you would put your hand on and like the little electricity would come.
Yeah,
you know
like,
what I'm
imagine
talking
that,
about?
but without the glass around it. Yeah,
it was weird.
It's like a metallic snowflake. But they had all the bloggers and the vloggers, everybody out there, and they were basically having us do free labor by.
That's what it was.
It really was. That's what it was. But it was cool. You know, we got to sign it. We put ThrillGeek on it. And I think they were going to hang them from the tree or something. So that was really cool.
We'll find out.
And then we got to walk around the main kind of center part where the ice cream stall, the ice cream place is, where when Give Kids the World is open, kids can go and get free ice cream. And then we walked. They kind of had it on us on a guided tour, and then we got to walk where the villas are, and a huge chunk of the villas were already lit with Christmas lights. And what's really cool is they're basically giving these villas out to be decorated by sponsors. So like there was like Orlando City Soccer was there. Legoland had one. There were all sorts. Emily probably remembers some. Yeah, Crayola had one.
I'm trying to think. Crayola, Orlando City, NASA.
Did FunSpot have one? No.
FunSpot.
Yeah, FunSpot had one.
So many.
So they're basically, you know, letting these sponsors decorate the house with whatever color lights they want, and then whatever props they want, and they're looking. It's going to be really cool. I was actually pretty impressed with it. It's very the scale that they're doing, I hate to say, is very Osborne lights-ish.
Yeah.
It's really impressive what they're doing out there. So standard night tickets start at $25 for adults, $15 for kids, and they have peak night tickets, which are $10 more, $35 for adults, and $3 more for kids, $18 for kids. And then they have a holiday night ticket, which I'm guessing is Christmas. I can actually click on it here. Yeah, November 26th, December 24th, 25th, December 31st, and then January 1st and 2nd. Those tickets are $40 for adults and $20 for kids. And when we were there, they were really pushing on they need volunteers. And so I don't know. I would imagine they probably still need volunteers. They needed volunteers to get the lights up. They needed volunteers to run the thing, and then they need volunteers to tear it all down. So I believe the website is Give Kids. It's all abbreviated gktw.org/lights. And you can go there and get all the information on it. And like Barry said, when we first started talking about this, you know, all the money goes towards Give Kids the World, which is a really great cause. So, you know, and they need the support, you know, because they've been closed down because of COVID. So, you know, if you're in the area, be sure this holiday season to go down there, check it out, and support Give Kids the World, because, you know, they need it. So, anyways, moving on, Barry, you actually, you had quite a fun last couple of days. You've been park hopping and checking out the Disney parks. So, what's going on over at Disney as far as the holidays? Because they officially kicked off this weekend.
I was going to say, Barry, go. I got to literally grab my charger for my laptop or it'll die. So you go.
Yeah, I mean,
we can hold it down.
We got to do, we did Hollywood Studios the day before, but they already had all the Christmas decorations up. So that was really nice to see all that. But we went to Animal Kingdom today, holidays at Disney World for the most part, except for Epcot kicked off. And Animal Kingdom's got all the decorations that were new last year have returned. The ones that are in Discovery Island, which are themed to the Merry Menagerie, which were those puppets they had last year, Fortunately,
yeah.
the puppets aren't back this year for obvious reasons. But there are a few additional animal pieces that are up in these decorations. But all the other decorations in Asia, over in Harambe, which the Harambe decorations are some of the coolest because it looks like they just took whatever junk they had and created there's wreaths created out of like bicycle tires
It really fits the theming, yeah.
and luminaries that use like old tin cans with holes punched in them. So yeah, and in the Santa, some of the decorations are back on Pandora around was it Pongu Pongu?
Oh, I was there yesterday and I didn't see those, but I saw all the other ones.
Yeah, so all theirs is back. You do see the Merry Menagerie characters. The Instagram wall that's across from Tiffin's, they actually put the characters up on the wall there in a nice like photo op you can do.
I wish they would kind of do like what they do with the Universal, though. Maybe like put them on a stage, but I guess that means that they have to have entertainment.
Yeah. So I mean, and then the boats, the character boats, have all got decorations on them, and the characters are in holiday outfits, and they're actually using the music from the old Jingle Jungle with Jammin' Parade, which. Yes, Animal Kingdom used to have a parade, and that they
back
would put
in my day when they had one.
And they would put a holiday overlay on it.
All you young whippersnappers don't know about parades at Disney.
The Christmas season, so they're actually using the music from that parade on the different boats that are going around. So it's like I said, I mean, last year when all this new Animal Kingdom debuted, we were very happy. This Animal Kingdom has always been sort of on the least as far as celebrating the season. Didn't really have much in the way of decorations outside the tree and the front gate. And so it's all that stuff's back this year except for some of the entertainment. So
no Toy Story Land Christmas decorations. I thought that was interesting.
Maybe they just haven't put them up yet.
Yeah, I didn't see any when we were
I think
there.
it was somebody said that I saw somewhere on Twitter. Let's just leave it at that I saw that the Toy Story Land is not getting the holiday decorations. I could be wrong. Maybe like you said, they're not up yet. But
and then of course, really Christmas Central always is the Magic Kingdom, followed by Epcot. But their holiday festival doesn't start till the day after Thanksgiving. So there's no Very Merry Christmas Party this year, but all the decorations are up on Main Street USA.
They got Mickey's, all the cavalcades, Mickey's Holiday Cavalcade, Goofy's Scrumptious Cavalcade.
There are 6 different holiday
Royal
things.
Christmas Processional.
Yeah, you have the Royal, I got to see a few of them, did not get to see all of them, unfortunately. There's the Royal Christmas Processional, which has the princesses, and they basically... Merida's still on the horse, but then the princesses are on the gazebo float, and then the
float that'll never die.
The float that'll never die, the castle float, which is in the Christmas parade anyway, so it's decorated just like it is in the Christmas parade, and it uses the Once Upon a Christmas Time music from their section of the parade. The Goofy's Scrumptious Cavalcade basically has Max and Goofy, where normally Ralph and
Penelope.
Vanellope are. Max is in the car. Goofy's on the gingerbread house, and then Clarabelle is in her usual spot of her baking her cookies, and then the gingerbread men and some elves are also in that part of the parade. But then you got the holiday trolley. Was it the holiday trolley or the jolly trolley or whatever the heck they're calling it, with the Dapper Dans on it? Santa's got the section of the parade with Santa and the reindeers is a cavalcade.
The reindeers are terrifying.
The section, and then Mickey.
The soldiers are more terrifying to me than the reindeer. Reindeer are cute.
I don't screw with the reindeer.
And then Mickey's got his own. Mickey and Minnie have their own cavalcade with the Christmas tree float from the parade, and then a group of the toy soldiers march with the Main Street Philharmonic down the parade route. So you got 6 different holiday things. You're getting about a third of the Once Upon a Christmas Time parade. So that's not bad. I mean, that's a lot of holidays on top of. There's holiday treats in multiple. There's a ton of different churros. There's ones they didn't even advertise that are available at different stands throughout the park of different types of holiday churros. We did try the one of the treats that's available at Pecos Bill.
Was that taco thing or whatever it was?
Yeah.
The dessert taco thing. How was that?
It was actually very good. I see here. I can see Emily.
The second I heard sugar cookie shell, I was like,
Give me all the sugar.
no.
It was
I'm not
actually
a fan of sugar cookies, so I'm like,
it wasn't too sweet, and the filling
What's it filled with?
salted caramel and like a chocolate mousse. It
Doesn't
was
sound
very
too
good.
bad.
No, it was really good. It was one of the better holiday desserts I've had. The one that seems to be the most in demand is at Main Street Bakery, and it's basically the Christmas tree cupcake.
Oh, I saw that.
That's got a red velvet hidden Mickey in the middle.
Yeah,
and
I saw.
And the cool thing is the cake goes all the way up, so you're not. Some of those cupcakes, you got a giant glob of frosting on top.
You have like this much frosting and like this much cupcake.
But in this case, there's actually cake in that frosting on top. So everyone I know who's tried that, the line for Main Street Bakery was just too ridiculous.
I saw several other blogs post little reviews of that cupcake. It actually looked really cute.
Yeah. So like I said, there's Magic Kingdom seems to have the most holiday treats out of all four parks. Well, until Epcot opens, and then they've got the cookie stroll.
And they blow everything out of the water.
And all those Yule log chocolate Yule logs and all
And
that
then
stuff.
then you also got the castle projections, which look really cool.
Yeah, there's 4 different projections. They change about every 15 minutes. We only got to see 2 of them. They're really cool. It's a great photo op, which it brings into the interesting thing is we saw a new sign that basically says that you need to be wearing a face covering while you're taking a photo, because they had cast members stationed with those signs and throughout the hub, because basically the castle's a giant. I mean, a castle's always a photo op, but then with this, it's basically a giant photo op.
Yeah.
So they were being very strict with people, which as they should be, when making sure they didn't take off their masks to take a photo. So it definitely feels like the holidays at the park. Unfortunately, there's no Snope on Main Street and some of the things you use. No ride overlays except for the Jingle Cruise is back from the dead again this year.
It will never die.
And,
that was a last minute thing.
Yeah, I mean, no one was expecting it to happen, and all of a sudden it opened. So
I think they literally put that up overnight.
Yeah,
Probably.
well, it literally can be put up overnight.
Yeah.
But it's Magic Kingdom felt very festive. It's still nothing really new decoration wise, which I think is always one of our few. If there's one of our few complaints about Christmas time at Magic Kingdom is like, okay, well, Main Street's nice and pretty, and with the Christmas tree, but it's like, could you guys, they decorate like the back of Cinderella's castle, which actually looked pretty cool, and then Country Bear Jamboree has some Christmas decorations, but it's like, it would be nice, eventually if they get around to decorating the rest of the park every year too for Christmas.
Yeah. So that's a taste of Disney's Christmas this year, and our living down here with the virus still going on and all the restrictions and everything. Universal announced their holiday details, which were fairly, slimmed down. They do have the big thing is Grinchmas won't be returning the show. So we'll dive into that more as we get out there and check things out and see what's going on with all that. And we have some other things coming up too. We'll be checking out Gaylord Palms, all their new Christmas stuff. They won't be doing ice this year. They'll be doing what's the movie thing that they're doing? I'm unprepared for this, but Into the Movies or whatever it is.
Yeah, you'll be able do photo ops with like.
I love
different
Christmas
scenes.
movies. Yeah.
Yeah, from different Christmas movies.
So we will be there actually in a couple days later this week, checking that out. So I think Emily's going to be there with me, so we'll check that out. And Busch Gardens, they got their
Town.
Christmas Town coming up, and then Universal stuff. So we'll have some holiday stuff coming up here. SeaWorld Christmas celebration. They announced all their stuff. But we're going to talk about, instead of absolutely boring you guys with the news details, go to the website. Everything's up there with all the details about all the Christmas events. But we'll save our discussion for when we actually get out and check these things out. So yeah. Anyways, that's it, guys. Anything else we wanted to quick chat about before we get on out of here? Anything?
No, I think that's it. Like I said, we'll be covering all this Christmas stuff in the next couple of weeks, so we'll have plenty to talk about.
I'll be getting my Xbox, so I can talk about that. We can talk about a little gaming maybe on the next podcast. Yay! I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Yay for you.
Yeah. So, anyways.
You still bought a day one console. Good luck.
Stop. Stop. So, all right, guys, we're gonna get on out of here. Wrap it up. I know we
weren't you originally supposed to get a PS5?
He did.
I did.
Oh, no, you did.
Shh. If it wasn't for the Miles Morales game, I would not be. But
aren't they releasing it on PS4 though too? I know you don't have one, but aren't they?
I think they are. I think they are.
Yeah.
But no, I was like, and there's so many. I was looking at getting a PS4 like several weeks back, and I was like, do I do it? And so here I am. Because there's so many.
Yeah, get a PS4 because I've got same thing with you with Xbox. I've probably got 100 PS Plus games I've never touched.
Yeah, and that's the thing. There's so many.
But that's why you get them. You're like, look at my library. I never touch it.
I never play it. And that's my thing. I have 3 kids. I never play video games, but I'm about to have both of them. So it's like,
yeah.
But no, there are several PlayStation games, that I'm always chatting on Twitter with friends about gaming and stuff, and they start talking about PlayStation games, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. So I do want to, get caught up on like the big ones, like God of War and Uncharted and
Last of Us.
The Last of Us. All those big PlayStation titles, those are the ones that I want to focus on and get caught up with when I get the PS5. And apparently PlayStation, if you sign up for the PlayStation Plus thing, they're giving you like a bunch of games for free or something. Yep. So anyways,
it's worth
all right.
it.
Yeah. So, and I'll be signing up for that, because, I do have, and that's the thing too, is I have a bunch of friends that only are PlayStation and,
Us.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. I'll be able to play with them, and, I've had a huge switch of friends that used to be Xbox only, now only PlayStation. So I'm excited. It should be fun. So, anyways, yeah, maybe we can chat about gaming some more. Because I'm a nerd. So, anyways, all right, Barry, get us on out of here.
We are at ThrillGeek on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook.com/ThrillGeek. Please like and follow our Facebook page, YouTube.com/ThrillGeek. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have we will have videos up from the Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom coming this week. We've got one of them up already, but we'll have more coming this week on the YouTube channel, ThrillGeek.com, for the latest in theme park and pop culture news. And of course, you are listening to the ThrillGeek Podcast. Wherever you can get a podcast, you can get the ThrillGeek Podcast.
Yes, you can. And of course, the big thing is the YouTube channel. Be sure you guys are subscribed to our YouTube channel. I've been kind of slacking on I didn't go. I forgot why I didn't go last week to the Universal to do a live stream around the park, but I will. I'll try to be there this Friday and do a live stream and check out some of the Christmas stuff and all that stuff. So, anyways, Emily, thank you for joining us once again.
You're welcome. My nose
Appreciate
was itchy.
you.
Sorry.
Thanks.
You what?
I was going like this. I'm like, my nose was itchy. I'm sorry.
Oh, just itch your nose. Just show the world how you itch your nose. Show the 5 people probably watching this live stream. Just get in there. Don't be afraid.
I'm good.
Gosh. All right, guys.
I'm fine.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Bye.
See you in the parks. Stay safe.
We did it.
We did it. We did it.
See you in 12 weeks.
Yeah. Thanks, guys, for hanging out with us in the chat room. I saw Mr. Dan, Midway Mayhem, was peeking in. I saw Johnny peeking, Mr. Haunt Scene. He's up north right now.
Friends.
Hanging out with his family up north. Or something. I saw he's going to... he was doing some haunt up there. It's like, it was at one point...
When is Johnny not doing some haunt?
I love that guy. I'm jealous. So jealous.
I want to be Johnny.
I do. But he's doing some haunt up there up north. It either is or was at some point like the biggest haunt in the country or the world. Or if you're still in here, Johnny, correct me if I'm wrong. But
Johnny,
anyways,
please.
It was some massive giant haunt, and I was like, I want to go.
I want to go to there.
Michael says, I have an Xbox One X now, Michael, so that's about to get the boot tomorrow. Like, I was wondering what was going on with Best Buy.
Can you say Best Buy again?
Best Buy?
You were like, Best Buy.
Best Buy? Best Buy. But I was like, am I going to get this thing on launch day? And, like, all day today it said preparing for shipment. And I was like, so are you guys going to ship it tomorrow? And I'm not going to get it until, like, Friday? And apparently they're overnighting it because it says it'll be here tomorrow. So, anyways. I'm excited. I'm a nerd. I just ain't going to have my Halo. I'm sad. But, it's the same thing with the Cyberpunk game. They're delaying these games to improve them and make them better. And I'm like,
will we ever get Cyberpunk, though?
I'm excited about that game. Just because my man crush for Keanu Reeves is alive and well. But he's like, I don't understand his character in the game. Like, he's not going to be a playable character, but apparently he's like, he's a very important part in the storyline. So I'm like, I want to play Keanu Reeves. I want to be one with Keanu. But yeah, Ryan,
Yeah.
I saw Best, or no, was it Best? No, it was Amazon. Amazon. My friend Mike, he said a bunch of his friends got emails today about their Xboxes won't be here until Christmas. I was like, oof.
No thanks.
Yeah. That sucks to be waiting this long, and here it is launch week for both consoles, and then you're like, oh, sorry. Not getting here till Christmas.
Just gonna play Kingdom Hearts until I die.
Ryan thinks he's so funny. Cyberpunk has the release date in its title all along.
He's
You're
not
so
wrong.
Funny. At this rate, it might as well be 2077.
Yeah.
So, anyways. Who else was? Dan was hanging out with us.
There's so many people.
Yeah.
The power of social media.
I was about to stop doing the live stream again for some odd reason. I'm like that. I have so many. I'm terrible. I do too. I just I have these internal conflicts with myself all the time of like, do I stop doing this with the website? Do I stop doing that? Do I do this? Do I change this? Like, y'all don't understand. It is a constant struggle with me. Like, what is ThrillGeek?
What is a ThrillGeek?
What is ThrillGeek? Like, let me know in the comments. What do you guys think? What is ThrillGeek?
A noun. Or a verb. Or Barry moving his camera dramatically.
My big thing is, we've I really want to start focusing on our digital content, the podcast, the YouTube channel. We're never going to be an article publishing machine, and I don't want to be.
I can't type that fast.
I'd rather social media, live streaming is the future of, what have you. So I'd rather us focus on the digital content of what we have already, that's going for us, which is the podcast, the YouTube channel, social media in general. That's one thing that I've, with 2020 being allowing us to kind of take a break from, hustling and bustling at the parks and that sort of thing. I've put some thought into, like what I want to do, where we want to go, and we just kind of need to.
I know where Barry wants to go.
Dan says someone who's overly excited about thrilling things. Thanks, smartass. Oh gosh. Yeah, Ryan, I haven't gotten. Yeah, exactly. I haven't gotten your WordPress login either for the website.
Poor Ryan.
Oh. Well, Disneyland's still sitting there, so.
Take update pictures every week, Ryan.
Yeah, and that's the reason too why I bought a nice camera, a nice lens. I'd rather focus on the social media, the pictures, the video, digital content, and not get away from articles completely all in general, because the parks like to see that. Universal, Disney, they all like to see the articles. They like to see how many clicks you're getting and that sort of thing. So we need to maintain that. But when we build our social media, we'll get with what articles we post, we'll get clicks and traffic with those articles. So it's like, anyways, am I just rambling?
Yeah.
Yes.
How are you guys? You guys are being
Tired.
quiet, so tired.
Yeah. I also
am
hate
too.
this desk chair because
Do you guys
it's
wanna-
not like a normal chair and it
I
just
haven't
kills
shared
my
this with-
back.
I haven't shared this with either of you guys. Do you guys
Oh,
want to hear a
no.
fun Jordan story? Being a parent,
Always.
Sure.
a kid story.
Barry's like, no.
So, get this. We have one of Cheryl's friends watching Jordan and Connor over here. When they're at school, when they're doing the homeschooling thing because of the virus and everything. So, she's here watching him throughout the day. Now that Cheryl's back to work at Disney, and I never left work, so I've been at work, and so she one day she came and told me when I came home that Jordan, this was the initial story. Jordan said that he was out riding his bike in the neighborhood after school, and she said she found Jordan with a Coke, like a 20-ounce, bottle of Coke and a bag of Cheetos.
Mm-hmm.
So, the girl that's watching our kids, she asked him, where'd you get it? Jordan said some guys, this couple walking around our neighborhood were just giving out food and drink. And I thought this was really suspicious and really weird at first, so I went with it, and I kind of gave the whole parent lesson of, you don't take food from strangers, you stay away from them, I gave him that whole long speech. Well, here comes Jordan's little brother, Connor.
My favorite.
6-year-old today, Connor.
Happy birthday, Connor, even though you're in bed and asleep.
He loves I love that little the Lego Mario set. That thing is so much fun. Like, I was having more fun than him playing with it. So here comes Connor. Daddy, Jordan went to Target. I was like, and I didn't think anything of it at first. I was talking with the girl that watches our kids, and Connor's just kind of I'm listening to him off to the side of me, and he was like, "Daddy, Jordan went to Target. Daddy, Jordan went to Target." So I finally wrap up, having the whole conversation with Jordan about, talking to strangers, not taking food from them and everything. And then I stop for a second and I go, "Jordan, did you ride your bike to Target?"
That's
And
a busy intersection, too.
Yeah. And I got Jordan down to a T when I know he's full of crap. Mm-hmm. And you know that look when you ask your kids something and they're lying through their teeth, or they're caught. And that was the look Jordan gave. Like, he knew he was caught. So, long story short, come to find out, Jordan rode his bike to Target. Bought some Cheetos and bought a bottle of Coke and rode his bike back home. And he also made up the story about getting that said bag of Cheetos and Coke from somebody just walking around in our neighborhood handing out
like,
food.
what do you give more of a ration of shit about? Taking shit from strangers or riding your bike across a busy intersection, buying snacks and coming home?
Like I was just like, oh my God. I was like, so that was exciting, and the joys of parenting.
This is very active birth control. Thank you.
So needless to say, he got two. I don't know what the word is here without sounding like a
talking twos.
Talking twos, yes. Because like I said, I went with the story at first about him he got this bag of chips and soda from a stranger in our neighborhood. So he got that talking to, and then I found out he lied to me, and then I found out he rode his bike to Target by himself. Oh God. Yeah, Daniel's like, sounds like the stuff we do as kids. I know. That's one thing that went through my head, and I was like, oh God. And
that boy is your son, so
I love that kid, but holy hell, that was something else. When I finally figured out his whole situation. So anyways.
Does he still have a bike?
Oh, he's like I took the bike away, and he's allowed to ride his scooter. He has one of the Razor scooters.
He's gonna still take his Razor scooter down to Target.
Yeah. And he's limited to pretty much, we live on a corner lot, so he's, limited to our front yard. And I have to be out there watching him, so.
Oh. Now I'm trying to, understand, because I know where you live, understanding the logistics of how long it takes from bike to where you live to the Target and back without somebody, realizing he was gone for that long.
And she felt really guilty, and we couldn't blame her for it. It wasn't her fault. But yeah, no, I mean, it's not too long. I mean, I've ridden, we have bikes, which I don't use too often because I'm a lazy bastard. And I've ridden my bike over to that, I've said it, it's no hidden secret. I live in Hunters Creek, so the ride from my neighborhood to my neighborhood to the Target in Hunters Creek is 10, 15 minutes, if that. Yeah. It was just a fact that OBT intersection.
That's a real, I don't even like driving in that intersection, let alone trying to be a kid going across a bike in it.
Yeah, Ryan says, just get the kid a car already. Yeah, I wish I could, Ryan. Gosh.
He'd be going to Target for them Cheetos all the time.
And, he was just trying to be,
he's
that's
just
the thing.
being a little shit.
Yeah, well, that's the thing with Jordan, too. He's a super nice kid, he...
but there have been times with Jordan too that I've been like, yeah, buddy, yeah. You trying to pull that with me?
And he also said, I never saw it. He bought some Minecraft toy for Connor or something like that.
Where did this child get this money from?
He's good at, we're trying to be good parents, and tell the kids to save their money. So he has money saved up from birthday money.
Because I was going to be like, I only got birthday money and Christmas money. I never got an allowance or anything.
I will give
go and buy toys and drinks and snacks and stuff. That was never a thing for me. So
yeah, no, he saves up. He's usually when he gets birthday money or Christmas money, he saves it, and he'll spend. We're like, because kids want to spend money when they get it, and we're like, spend a little and save a little, and that's kind of the mantra that we usually give Jordan, since he's obviously the oldest one. Mm-hmm. And we're cool with him spending money, but we also tell him to save some. So, anyways, the joys of parenting.
That's funny. Just Barry. Oh,
gosh.
That's why I don't have kids.
That's why you have fluffy babies. They can't go on their bikes and go to Target.
But if my little Charlotte rode her bike to Target, I'd be like, it's okay, sweetie, I forgive you. My little princess. My little daddy's girl.
That little girl gets away with too much murder.
I love that little girl. She's so cute, and oh my gosh. She left daycare this morning when I took her to daycare she left daycare with a completely different hairdo. Like, the ladies at daycare love doing her hair and stuff. And then she gets home, and I guess she didn't look at it. She gets home, she goes upstairs, she runs upstairs, and she immediately changes out of her daycare clothes into a Mulan, Cinderella, one of her Disney princess dresses, and she looked in the mirror, I guess, and she came downstairs to me and she's like, "Daddy, I don't like it." And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "My hair." I was like, "Okay." I was like, "What do you want me to do?" I was like, I don't have the hair skill here." So she was like, "I want to take it out." She's such a little drama queen. I love that girl.
I was about to say, she is full of drama, and she's
She
only a
is.
little wee one.
She was like, "I don't like it," and she had the whole
She's gonna be a
nostril
handful.
thing,
Good
and
luck.
like completely like my little Charlotte is not satisfied. What am I to do? Oh, so anyways, I'm gonna get to bed. Get out of here.
No
Thanks, guys, for
worries.
hanging out. I'm gonna wrap it up here. Dan, Ryan, thank you guys. Michael, thank you as always for hanging out with us. We appreciate you guys. And we'll see you guys next time. Take care.
night.
Be safe. Wear a mask.
Do your
Bye.
part.
Bye.
Bye.